Hi guys, sorry to interrupt your video. Just a quick plea, subscribe to my channel please. If you haven't done it already, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks. In order to supervise a learner driver, you need to have held a full driving license for the same category of vehicle for at least 3 years. What other requirement must be met? Okay, to have a car with your controls? No. To be at least 21? Yes. To be an approved driving instructor? No. To hold an advanced driving certificate? No. So you've got to be at least 21, have held a full license for 3 years in the same category of vehicle. Yeah, I think that's it really. And obviously you must have insurance and all the rest of it. Right. Bum, 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 bum. Your car requires an MOT certificate. When is it legal to drive it without an MOT certificate? Well, in order to go and get an MOT certificate, or to go and get the repairs done so that you can get an MOT certificate. But you have to be going to an existing appointment. You can't drive to make an appointment, right? So your car requires an MOT certificate. When is it legal to drive without one? Up to 7 days? No. When driving to an MOT centre to arrange an appointment? No, because that's to arrange an appointment. There's called telephones for that. When driving the car with the owner's permission? No. When driving to an appointment? Yes. So you must have already booked an appointment and then you're taking it to get it done. Right. Oh, look at this. There's loads of text here. Let's look at this one. Right. So when a car is 3 years old, 4 years in Northern Ireland, it must pass an MOT test and have a valid MOT certificate before it can be used on the road. Exceptionally, you may drive to a pre-arranged test appointment or to a garage for repairs required for the test. Okay, weird. You may also drive vehicles that are more than 40 years old without an MOT test, but they must be in a roadworthy condition before being used on the road. See the government website for details. When will a new car need its first MOT test? 1, 2, 3. It's 3. We all know this because you've been good and you watched my video. 3.
That's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
What does third-party insurance cover? I am the first party. My insurance company is the second party. The third party is people who I might come into connection with. Therefore, third-party insurance cover covers damage to your vehicle? No. Damage to other vehicles? Yes, it does, because it's the third party. Da, 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 da. What does it mean if your insurance policy has a £500 excess? Again, watch my video on insurance, explains it all, but the insurance policy says that they will pay out in excess of £500. So if the cost of repairs to some work comes up to £500, they will pay nothing because we have to pay the first £500 and then they will take over. So the insurance company will pay the first £500 of any claim. No, they won't. I have to pay the first £500. You'll be paid £500 if you don't claim 1 year. No. Your vehicle is insured for the value of £500. No. You'll have to pay the first £500 cost. And there it is. Having an excess on your policy will keep your premium down. However, if you make a claim, you'll have to pay the excess yourself. In this case, £500. But as per my video, you've got compulsory excesses and you've got voluntary excesses. So you could change the excess amount and that will change your premium. Again, watch the video. I didn't spend all this time doing this video so that you don't watch it. Right, for how long is an MOT certificate normally valid? Well, it's an annual thing. So it's 1 year from the date. Okay, 12 months. Some garages will remind you that your vehicle is due for its annual MOT test. They will. You can also do it. Government website, they'll also email you, I think. Or text you or something. To ensure continuous cover, you may take your vehicle for its MOT up to 1 month before its existing MOT certificate expires. The expiry date on the new certificate will be 12 months after the expiry date of the old certificate. So basically, you can take your car for an MOT early, so you don't have to wait for the original one to expire. you can you can get within a month of your old one expiring, get it MOT'd, but then it will just start from the expiry date of the original one. Okay, so you're not going to lose any time. Problem comes though, if your car fails the MOT, even though you have one that expires in say another 2 weeks, if your one fails now, then your car is currently unroadworthy and is not allowed on the road. So get it done early means that you've got time to book it in, get an appointment, but if it fails, then you're still not allowed to drive it on the road. So make sure you factor that in. What I normally do is I put my car in for a service and MOT all at the same time, so the mechanic knows that it's going for an MOT, and so therefore checks everything that is checked on the MOT and makes sure it's all fixed, and then sends it for an MOT and just chucks an MOT on the end of it, so the car gets done and MOT'd. What's a cover note? A cover note is something that an insurance broker will issue whilst you are waiting for your insurance certificate to come from the insurance company. Because you've got brokers such as A Plan Insurance, for instance. They are not an insurance company, they are a broker that when you go to them and say I have a car and I would like to be insured, they go onto their computer and they look at lots of different insurance companies that will give you cover, and then you find the one that has the best price and cover for what you want. Right, then you pay A Plan Insurance and then they pay the insurance company. But then it's going to take time for the paperwork and all the rest of it to come from the insurance company. So in the meantime, your broker will issue a cover note to say that you have paid for cover. It's just that you're waiting for the documentation and for the computer system to be updated at the insurance company. Just in case you get stopped by the police on the way back, they can go, you're not registered as having insurance, and you go, ha ha ha, I have a certificate that says I have. Alright, so what's a cover note? It's a note issued before you receive a driving license. Note, a document issued before you receive your insurance certificate. Yes, just proof that you have your insurance whilst waiting for the system to be updated. And they're normally valid for a month to give the insurance company time to update the system. You've just passed your first practical driving test. Congratulations. What will you have to do if you get 6 penalty points on your license in the next 2 years? Right, you've got probation period of 2 years, and if you fail in that time, i.e. you get 6 or more points, then you will have to retake your theory and practical test. You've lost the lot, you've got to start again. This also includes points that you might gain as a learner driver. So what happens is, let's say for instance you clock up 6 points as a learner driver, then you pass your practical driving test and you are now a full license holder. Because you are already at that limit, as soon as you get 1 point, boom, you've lost it. Everything. Theory, practical, you've got to reset everything. Obviously this time it should be easier because you're ready for it, but it's a right pain. So theory and practical. What is a statutory off-road notification? Well, we all know this by now. It's tax, road tax, or saying that you're not putting it on the road so you don't have to pay tax. So a notification to tell DVSA that a vehicle doesn't have a current MOT. No. To inform information kept by the police about the owner. No. A notification to tell DVLA that a vehicle isn't being used on the road. Yes, I am off-road. No. Years. What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? Well, that would be unlimited. We can't put a limit on the amount of insurance or the fine because we don't know how much your insurance premium may be. If you're driving a Porsche and you're 17 living in London, your insurance premium may be £30,000 for all we know. So we can't say, oh well, we'll only fine you £500 because it's cheaper to get fines than it is to pay your insurance. So we have to be unlimited in the fine so that you get charged or fined more than what your insurance premium would have been, but we don't know what it would have been, so it's unlimited. You will get penalty points on your license, and you might be disqualified as well, so you might lose your license for driving without insurance, just so you know. Your insurer will issue you with an insurance certificate. When must you produce this document for inspection? Right, the only person who's got a requirement to see your document is a police officer. There he is. Other than that, because that's a legal thing, isn't it? Right, so, and they deal with law, so that's it. They're the only people. Right, when must your vehicle have valid insurance cover? Before you can make it sold? No. Before you can sell the vehicle? No. Before you can scrap the vehicle? No. Before you can tax the vehicle? Yes. It is a requirement of paying road tax that you have insurance cover at the time. I mean, okay, it might expire the day after, and you might not pay insurance for the rest of the year, but at the time of getting tax, you must have insurance cover. It's a way of trying to make sure that the vehicles are taxed, insured and MOT'd. They're all interlinked. Your vehicle must have valid insurance cover before you can tax it. If required, you may also need to have a valid MOT certificate. Yes, you can tax your vehicle online or by phone or at certain post offices. By Jove, they're right, you know. What do you need before you can legally use a motor vehicle on the road? Right, well, you must have an appropriate driving licence. You can't drive on the road without a licence. Breakdown cover, that's optional, isn't it? Whether or not you want the AA turning up to save you or your dad. Proof of your identity? No. A vehicle handbook? No. It's your driving licence. Using a motor vehicle on the road illegally carries a heavy fine and can lead to penalty points on your driving licence. You must hold a valid driving licence for the class of vehicle you're using, be insured to drive the vehicle. If required, the vehicle must have a current MOT certificate and be taxed for use on the road. Yes. What must you have when you apply to renew your vehicle tax? Well, we already know they check you have insurance. A chassis number, handbook, driver. Nah. You can renew your vehicle tax online at post offices and by phone using DVLA tax services. You must have MOT as well and insurance. A police officer asks to see your documents, but you don't have them with you. How many days do you have to produce them at a police station? 7 days is the answer to this. There's no way to work it out. You get a week to go to a police station and produce the documentation. They will give you a piece of paperwork that explains all this. But that's a bit antiquated now. I mean, everything is online now. So, for instance, if they pulled you over with an ANPR, automatic number plate recognition system, saying, "Oi son, you ain't got no insurance." If you had a cover note, but not with you, they would say, "All right then, you've got 7 days to take it to a local police station, and then before we won't prosecute you." Da-da-da, 20 out of 28. Hey, thank you all.